Hello, everybody. Happy Saturday and happy full moon. That is happening in a few hours. I apologize for getting on here so late. I am slammed with work, so I've been trying to get all that done. I hear movement. I thought there might be a cat in here. I thought I got them all out. Anyway, I want to go over the full moon forecast just a little bit, and I won't keep you guys long. I actually have a class I'm going into in a little bit. So we do have a full moon, and it is this evening. It does take place at about 11:36 p.m. So for myself, it'll be 8:36 because I'm on Mountain Time. Pacific West Coast, it'll be 7:36. And this full moon is all about communication. It's about short trips, writing, publishing, transportation. This rules postal service. This rules deliveries, buying new and used cars. After tomorrow, stick to used, but general rule of thumb, we don't buy new cars after a waning moon phase. Anything to do with 2 or 4 wheels, so cars, buses, trucks, motorcycles. You're going to hear of issues with accidents, travel delays, communication problems, and even some power outages. Now, Mercury retrograde isn't until modern astrology, I believe it is January 14th. So ancient astrology, we're going into it about the 7th or the 8th. And that if you saw my spell I was doing last night, that is the perfect time to do it. Also, getting it ready for the Mercury retrograde. That talisman will protect you from this upcoming retrograde as well. So if you haven't, go to my other video here on YouTube, the safe travel spell, and it's a green light. You can do that tonight. You can do that tomorrow. Um, Hi, Christopher. How are you? Merry Christmas, hon. Now, I want to bring something up, and Christopher, you're going to really appreciate this. It's not an accident that President Biden is pushing for an infrastructure bill. Infrastructure rules bridges, highways, and tunnels. It's the foundation of a functioning society. So, all of this is being done with the universal dragon's head in Gemini. Highways, transportation. Not an accident. He's being guided by the universal energy to do this. Now, this forecast for the next few weeks will have its impact on all air signs, but Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, you will feel it the most, but Sagittarius as well, because that's the polar opposite. And my usual spiel, souls born with a sun, moon, rising, or natal dragon, or hidden, head or tail, you're going to feel this energy. This dragon's energy is in its final breath, okay? The next dragon shifts on January 18th, 2022. So this is the last big energy with this dragon's head, the last full moon with this dragon's head in its energy, highest energy. December is going to be very trying for a great many people, especially after at 800,000 deaths. December would be bad. That something negative was coming for New York, and you could see what's happening in New York with the Omni variant taking over. New York has been hit hard, and New York is a Gemini city, just like Los Angeles, and just like countries like Australia and Brazil that have made headlines this past year because they are under that axis of energy between Gemini and Sagittarius. It's not an accident they've made headlines. California is generally a Sagittarian part of the country. Now, it was, established in September of 1850, so takes on those Virgonian qualities. But before man came in and made borders and boundaries, all of the United States was Sagittarian land. Okay, so as I stated in my December 24th, my birthday after the shift. I know, you're lucky. Mine isn't. Mine's right before the shift. So your ancestral city is an Aquarian city. We'll see. There you go. You are an Aquarian. December 24th. I have it highlighted in red on my astrologywitch.com website. And if you like what you're seeing here, please give my YouTube channel a like. Saturn in Aquarius squares Uranus in Taurus. So what does this mean? Well, Saturn rules politics and it rules government. It rules structure. And Aquarius rules shocking. It rules eruptive and abrupt energy. Anytime you're dealing with squares, you're dealing with tension. And Uranus is the planet of explosions. It's the planet of fault lines, volcanoes. But it's in Taurus, which rules Mother Gaia energy. It's Mother Earth energy. When you have this happening, this particular square, you want to prepare yourself for either some financial issues. We could be having a currency issue, or some sort of global natural disaster that takes place. When natural disasters happen, usually the stocks or the crypto market do fall. This happened back when the pandemic first started in the early months of March 2020. Both those markets hit hard, but crypto bounced back a lot quicker. And a lot of people actually made money in that pandemic if you had owned Bitcoin. Hi, Regina. How are you? Monaco. Yes. I could see that being an Aquarian city. I would say the pandemic would be back to 2020 situation. Yes. Remember this energy, before I go on, this energy, Gemini energy, is about duality. So things are going to repeat themselves in twos and fours and sixes. So here we are again. I don't see, well, I shouldn't say that. If it gets really bad, they'll do a lockdown again. But I think our government is trying to steer clear of that because it does have a financial impact on our economy. But we're already having financial impact on our economy. Yeah, it could be a crisis. Something's brewing. I can feel it. And people who are sensitive to energy, it's not just myself. It's other people, and it's people of very different walks of life through the metaphysical realm. It's people who are shamans and spiritualists. It's astrologers. It's people who are even like witches. And there was this one lady I was talking to. She's a root worker south, and she was saying she sees December. This was several months ago, and I go, it's funny you that, because I'm seeing that too. So, root workers usually work with herbs and they do conjure. I do believe she's a hoodoo priestess as well. So when people of all different walks of metaphysical life are seeing things, it's really time to listen, whether it's you're listening to me or you're listening to some other person on this platform that's saying similar things. Gemini is Trump's sun sign. So is he going to have a nasty time? Aware of energy. Yes. Well, Trump. I wasn't going to get into Trump tonight, but I'm my Patreons will get each and every each and every prediction I have, which is about 25 of them. I will offer 3 to the general public, and I already said one on the radio the other night. I didn't get to the Trump one, and I don't know if that platform of radio network could have handled what I was getting ready to say. I think I would have brought a shitstorm. But I'll tell you here, you're going to hear it again when I do the 3 predictions in about a week. But I'll give you one for now. And I explained this a little bit for my Patreon because they have the future of Facebook. They have the fate of Donald Trump. But I'll give you this. Donald Trump is a Gemini. And the dragon's energy has been sitting right on him since May of 2020. Okay, so that means the tail has been sitting in his 7th house. That's the house of marriage, contracts, and partnerships. He also has a moon there. Anytime you have a moon sitting there with the tail, if you don't understand the cosmic energies above you, you are going to have a hard time. Now, the 7th house is marriage, it's contracts, it's partnerships. So his partnership with the United States government is in the shits, pardon my French. His marriage is in the toilet because she spends her time up in the Trump Towers of New York City. She only comes to Florida to make appearances, and the last appearance you could see it written all over her face. I think she's not going to divorce him. The stars call for a divorce. But she may be waiting for him to get sick and die. Now, I'm not saying he's going to die, but the next dragon that's coming is going to be in Scorpio. That tail moves into a Taurus Scorpio tail. That tail is going to be in his 6th house of health and service to the world. Meaning, let's face it, his service to the world is done. You will not see him run in 2024. It would take a freaking miracle. Not saying miracles don't happen, but I don't see him running in 2024. I think all these things that are going on in the news with this January 6th thing, and it's like a house of cards. I'm watching it, and everything's getting ready to crumble. Okay. And that means Trump's health. There's something going on with his health. I will talk about this a little more in a week, right before New Year's. I'm going to come back on here and I'm going to give you 3. We'll get into a little more detail about Trump then. But yes, I do think his health is in danger, and all the stress coming from all this stuff isn't helping the situation. That's how I see it. Let's see what's going on in here. If he gets sick, I hope he... I gotta read that. If he gets sick, I hope he gets put in a discount nursing home. Wow. That, those $70K a year ones. Jesus. Well, karma comes full circle. And whether you love him or hate him, if you love him, say some prayers for him. Otherwise, sit back and pop some corn, because it's going to be kind of interesting. My health couldn't take him running either. I feel you, Suited Rags. I feel you on that. Yeah, I do not see him running again. It would take a miracle, and I know miracles happen, but I just don't think so. I think once we see 2024, I know something that others don't, and here's what I know. We're in the final stages of Pluto and Capricorn. Pluto and Capricorn shifts on March 23rd, 2023. Okay, and it shifts into Aquarius. It has been since 2008 in Capricorn. So Capricorn rules corporations and it rules government, and it's a very conservative sign. So it does rule the GOP and conservatism. Um, you see what's happening in the news. All these people are getting exposed. It's the house of cards falling. This is the house of politicians. Pluto takes 12 to 15 years to circle, and it is circling now. It's getting ready to make its shift. Sometimes it's slow moving. Sometimes all that karmic stuff doesn't come back until the final year or two. So Pluto in Capricorn is in its last breath. So you've got the Pluto in Aquarius fighting to get out, the rebel, uh, thinking outside the box, new age endeavors, high tech, UFO, science. And then you've got the conservative Pluto and Capricorn fighting for that control still, and wanting the conservative way of the old, the tried and the true, without exploring new innovations. Does that make any sense? Plus, you've got Saturn and Aquarius as well. So we've got a lot of Aquarian energy battling with Pluto and Capricorn. So there's this battle between conservative and liberal. It's a tug of war because Aquarius is liberal, Capricorn is conservative. Now, I'm not saying that you're born, if you're a Capricorn, that you're a conservative. That's not where I'm going. Or if you're Aquarius, you're a liberal. That's not where I'm going. But I can see in your own stars whether you are, if you steer to a conservative or a progressive side. That's the beauty of the stars. We are, our DNA, cosmically speaking, makes us that way. Some of us tried and true and want to stick to the old methods, tradition. There's others that want to throw that out the window and break it all down, build new. That's Aquarius. Your birthday will be fun, and everything is going into, yes, that's very true. The only thing leaving is Jupiter has been in Aquarius for the past year, and Jupiter is leaving December 28th, and it's moving into Pisces. So anytime you have Jupiter moving into Pisces, you're going to see, I mean, we have been confined for a couple of years, and I'm hoping, to me, it looks like the COVID virus will kind of disappear about late spring. April, May, I'm thinking it will go away. Once this dragon goes away, it will kind of go away. But I think with the holiday seasons hitting and people getting together, I do think a lot of lives are going to be lost, and I think a lot of people are going to get sick. Blessings, Melly. Blessings to you too, hun. I'm Aquarius, Sun, and Mercury. I've been super activated. I bet you have. A lot of Aquarians have these past few, especially since 2020 when Saturn moved into Aquarius. Saturn's also about responsibility, but Saturn is also about discipline and putting things in force through the Aquarian mantra, so to speak, if that makes any sense. Jupiter was in Scorpio when I was born too. That's why I call you my brother from another mother, because you and I were born in different sun signs, same month. So a lot of our planets are placed the same. But yeah, so Jupiter's going to go into Pisces, and anytime Jupiter and Pisces, let's think about what Pisces rules. Pisces does rule teaching, but it also rules the music world and arts and acting and Hollywood in some way. So you might see an increase this year with them belting out movies, to get, because they've kind of been at a standstill with production, from my understanding. But this is also about music and going to concerts again and listening to some of your favorite music. This is also angelic energy as well, because Pisces is a the very, very spiritual sign. So it rules the angelic world as well. So there will be those opportunities. And for those of you that are born with a sun sign in Jupiter or born with a sun sign in Pisces, have a natal in Jupiter in Pisces, or wherever Pisces falls by your house and sign, you will be blessed by the Lord of Luck for that year. So enjoy. And my understanding is Jupiter does move. I want to say it's on May 10th. It moves into Aries for about 6 months. Then it jumps back into Pisces. So it's kind of interesting. Anytime we have Jupiter retrograding, it usually stays a little longer in a sign. I am also Jupiter and Venus conjunct in Pisces, 5th house. Shouldn't be a good year. It should be a very good year coming up. Absolutely, suited rags. A Jupiter and a Venus conjunct in Pisces. So you have a Jupiter in Pisces and you're in Aquarius, right? Christ, that's your money house, honey. That if you are a February born Aquarius, that energy is going to hit on your second house of wealth, possessions, and better self-esteem. That's amazing. Good luck, suited rags. See now, okay, so Aries is your rising sign. See, my rising sign is Virgo. So that's a good thing. So, the Pisces energy or the Aries energy will be right on your rising when that planet shifts. And I'll explain more about that in the weeks to come too. I do have a lot of writing to do. I hear you. Oh my God. Yes. Come on, crypto. Okay. I wasn't going to say anything, but I went on a radio show the other night. I wasn't able to advertise it. They didn't send me a link. I mean, they didn't even let me advertise my platform here. They just let me advertise my email address and my Facebook page, I think, or my website. Anyway, there was a guy on the station, and Christopher, I know you know who I'm talking about without me having to say too much. Jupiter's been in fun places for me. This guy got on and told me that crypto is a joke. It's this, it's that, it's blah, blah, blah. Your best thing to do is invest in gold and silver. See, now these are conservative viewpoints. Okay. They're trying to stick with the tried and the true. Now, I'm going to read you guys something that these were my radio notes, and let me go find them because I'm going to read you something that I had to explain to him. Hold on, guys. I should have had it up already. Radio notes. Radio. But yeah, he was saying that crypto's a joke and this and it's that. And I'm kind of like sitting there going, but I've made some money in it. How can it be a joke? I haven't made millions. I haven't even made hundreds of thousands, but a couple of grand is a nice thing. Taking $20, $30 and turning it into that is amazing, in my opinion. I'm not trying to be greedy here. I have to find these notes. Bear with me, you guys. Radio notes. Bear with me. I have to read these notes to you. I was very proud of myself the day I took these. Maybe this is it. There it is. I see them. I'm going to find the majority of radio media has leadership in the GOP. I know. I bet. Yeah, I know. You know what I learned today? That only 46%, was it 46%? Just this state. There's only like there's only a 40% rate of vaccination, and they predict that my state of Arizona is going to have a very high death rate come to January 1st of 2022. Now that's kind of scary, don't you think? It's scary. Here it is, radio notes. Okay, there's one. I had two sets of radio notes I want to bring up here. It's air money for the new air economy. Exactly. Backed by information, not earth. Oh my God. Yes. Yes. Someone is enlightened here. Backed by information, not earth material, petrol. Exactly. It's all, I was trying to explain to them, and I'm not some financial guru or anything. I'm just a humble astrologer who actually sees what's getting ready to happen. And I was trying to explain to him it's about a new way of working on the internet. They've got Web3, they've got these blockchains. It's about eliminating, it's peer to I was trying to explain to him about decentralized finance, peer-to-peer stuff, eliminating the third guy and eliminating the middleman. No, 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 it's a crock of shit. It's da, 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 da. And I just sat there going, okay, well, when the American dollar drops and you can't buy your steak and your beer, I will have money in crypto and will be able to buy certain things that others won't. Because if you know, you know. That's all I can say. If you know, you know. Okay, so my radio notes. I wanted to bring these up because I was trying to explain this to them. Nostradamus, I can't remember which quatrain it was, but he wrote a verse and it stated, and I'm going to read it to you. Alas, how we will see a great nation sorely troubled, and the holy law of utter ruin, Christianity governed throughout by other laws, then a new source of gold and silver is discovered. Nostradamus, the very man whose astrology that I practice, the great seer, saw crypto 550 years ago. He goes on to sketch images of a collapsed nation and a new form of money which emerges from the wreckage. Through lightning in the arch, must be from one of his writings. I think his son was his artist, even for his tarot cards. He goes on to say, through lightning in the ark, gold and silver melted. Of two captives, one will eat the other. The greatest one of the city stretched out. When submerged, the fleet will swim. Please remember, this was back in the 15th century, and he had to write in code because the church would have probably killed him. They would have considered him doing sorcery. That was what, the medieval times. Okay, let me get back in here and see what everyone's saying. Are you going to find the word? Okay. Yes. Conservatives are against it because they don't own it. You're exactly right, Suited Rags. That's it. They want to stick to the tried and the true. This guy even said that the stock market was going to go up. And I only go on this radio station because it's for the lady. I like the lady that runs it. Even though she's a conservative, I'm able to put my political differences aside. I have a lot of respect for her. But the two jackasses that are on there with her, I don't really like. And there's one I pick up a real bad vibe on. And that's all I'm going to say about that. If you have one of them Visa cards connected to the Bitcoin network, then you can still make purchases in the traditional economy with it. Exactly. This is what I was trying to explain to him, because I do have a credit card. It's connected to Coinbase. It's centralized, so the IRS knows everything about it. And I was explaining that I take $500 a month and I throw it into, I usually do United States digital dollar, but I could throw it onto the die. General rule of thumb from the class I'm taking on the blockchain immersion. The guy that's teaching the class says he doesn't really like stable coins that run on the American dollar because he's an occultist. Just like an astrologer, we know what's getting ready to happen to the American dollar. It's just inevitable, and the lady is related to you. Do you know who I'm talking about? Without me having to say the name, because I really don't want to. Anyway, I just kind of find it funny because I get 4% back. I don't do Bitcoin, but I do another crypto, and because Bitcoin only offers 1%. So I do 4% of. It's up and coming. It's right now at 68 cents a share, but every time I make a purchase, I get 4% back. The other day I got like $2 back. I did Christmas shopping with it. So, the bigger the purchase, the more back money you're going to get back. And, my little Coinbase graph is rising. Even though, crypto's been hit hard the past 2 weeks, you can't, there's a psychology behind it. You can't feed into fear. As long as you're still making money, then you're okay. If you're in the red, then that's not okay. That's different. But for most of us, we're not in the red. So I think I have, so it was a simple protocol. I invested when it was 8 cents a share. I only invested $20, and it's not doing good. At one time I had like $80, and now it's back to 20. It's back to kind of like where I started. So I'm just being patient. Sometimes that's what it takes. You can't, it's not about getting rich quick. That's not how it works. For some, yes, but you have to have millions to make millions in some way. If you have one, yeah. Yes. I didn't know you guys were related. Well, she's beautiful. I told you that's the only reason I go on there. It's for her. I think she's wonderful. Regardless of her political party. She is a fourth cousin through the. Oh, wow. I'm an heir to the founders. Wow. What a small world. That is amazing, Christopher. Wow. Anyway, those were my radio notes the other day from this radio show, and I was trying to explain this to him. And I'm going to use some of these notes when I go over the changing of the guards, when that dragon energy shifts. But where was I? Wow, confirmed through ancestry. Then it is definitely official. All right, moving on through my newsletter. I'm just about done here. So my magical folk. Now, I posted something last night. Now, Gemini full moons are the perfect time to work any kind of magic for better communication. Writing a book, doing spell work for inspiration is great. And anything dealing with public relations. This is the perfect time to make, travel talismans like I did last night, or jars or bags for protection for your car. Healing rituals can be set into place for ailments of the arms, the hands, and the shoulders. This energy also rules the lungs and the respiratory system. So, for all of you out there that are listening and say, you don't have to be into any kind of magic to do these things. Say you're more vulnerable to the COVID, you have some respiratory issues. Light a white candle, call upon your angels, and ask for healing. Okay. Ask for healing that you get through this winter, because I do think this is going to be a bad winter. I think the next couple of weeks are going to be very bad. But yes, light a candle. Hey, sweet butterfly girl. I'm glad I caught you, because the last time I missed you, I had already logged off and I'm going, oh, I missed her. But yes, light a candle and pray to Archangel Raphael if you so desire, for healing. Those are some things you can do in this moon energy. You don't have to be a witch or a pagan or anything like that. to do this. I've even gotten my own mother, who is very religious, a devout Catholic. Um, During Halloween, I had made an ancestor altar with all the people we've loved through the years that have passed away, and I put, I call it the La Madonna. It's the Mother of Mary holding the baby Jesus. In Italian, it's La Madonna, and it was my grandmother's statue. So we had that there with her picture and my grandfather, a friend of mine who passed, a whole bunch of people. So after Halloween was over, after the 2nd of November, I kind of started to slowly dismantle it. And she goes, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Should we take it?" She was like, "Can we keep it up?" And I go, "Well, why can't we? There's no rules that say we can't have an altar to honor the people we once loved in our home." What's really cool is the table it sits on is an old marble table that like survived a flood back in the 1800s from my family in Iowa. This is my dad's side of the family, which I don't really know. They're very much colonizers. Okay. But I inherited this table, and so I keep all the altar for the ancestry altar. I keep there. Um, so, what spell work is good with someone with Gemini in the second house? Well, if that means the full moon and the dragon is riding in their money house, so any kind of spells for money. What people don't realize is crypto is ruled by Gemini energy. It's kind of ruled by both. It takes on air energy, so it's ruled by mostly more Gemini. What, I'm frozen? Am I frozen? Anyway, it's ruled by Gemini, so that energy, it takes on mercurial energy. Um, but yes, any kind of spell work to bring things to you. Remember, the full moon is at its highest peak of energy. So after tonight, it starts to get smaller. This is also the night you want to throw out your crystals if you want to charge those. Um, what else can I say about this full moon? Moon water, if you want to make that. But if that dragon's falling in a certain house, like if it's the money house, you could work on money. But general rule of thumb, Gemini is made for um, communication, transportation, mental clarity, things like that. Now, see, I have a hidden dragon in Gemini. It's in the 6th house. And if you go to my website and well, I didn't share that. That's only for Patreon, but I said something about Capricorn and their health. I'm Capricorn, so I need to go and take my own advice. So tonight's spell work is for myself personally, and it's for health, better health. Um, that's how I'm using my energy, because my dragon's natal, my hidden natal is a Gemini energy in the 6th. So it's my health and my service to working on that for my personal affirmations tonight. Where was I? But yes, it does rule. It does rule the lungs and the respiratory system. This is the perfect time to get elderberry syrup to boost your immune system. I'm not a doctor or a nurse. I just know a few herbal things you can do along the way. But these next few weeks will be difficult on many of us, where our communication, our mental clarity will be at a disadvantage. We will see issues with the media, with broadcasting. Apparently, I'm having issues now. So, welcome to Mercury. Um, this is where delays of all sorts can happen. So, it's best to double check everything, watch your words. This is where you're going to see a lot of fights around the holiday table, too, especially with Saturn squaring. What did I say? It was squaring. Saturn squaring Uranus. God, this is where eruptions at the dinner table can happen. So please watch what you say. This is where fist fights can break out at the dinner table. God, that's awful. But that's true. You've really got to watch what you say around the holiday table because arguments can happen in this full moon energy. It's just something. Oy. But yeah, just watch your words. Okay, what am I missing here? It's familia. Quest. Oh my God. True. That spell work is good for someone with Gemini. I read that. Hold on. Oh no, I think it's frozen. Okay. Hold on, you guys. My throat's a little parched from talking so much. Okay. I'm Scorpio rising. The moon, this full moon, it's in my 8th house. Any thoughts? Well, anytime the full moon is in your 8th house, are you April? April born? If you're April born, suited rags, then this moon is going to go through your 8th house. Oh, God. Yeah, Pluto usually takes souls. That is very true. Suited rags, let me get back to you for a minute. This energy has gone through your 8th house. That's the house of life, death, rebirth, transformation. So there may be issues with joint finances. There might be issues these next few weeks. You could actually hear of someone passing. Anytime you have that energy going through there, you may hear of a death. Not necessarily someone close to you. Okay, then it's a little different. So that means that is it's going through your 5th house, hon. It's the house of love. It's the house of romance, children, creativity. So children, if you have any, may bring you some stress or might bring shocking news to you in the next 2 weeks. Your love life, this is where the love life kind of can get a little sketchy. If there are issues within the romantic circle, if the relationship is meant to last, it will get through this. Um, just things like that. It'll be kind of if you have, I see it more with kids. This time of year, I know when my kids were little, this is the time of year they drive you absolutely crazy. Cute, but crazy. Suited rags. So I am Scorpio and Jupiter. Yes, you are Scorpio and Jupiter. Just like me in our 11th. Do I have any recommendations for good astrology books? Okay, so one is as old as time. Okay, it is an oldie but a goodie. Getting ready to study astrology. I don't care whether it's modern astrology, Vedic astrology. I don't care whether it is Nostradamus astrology. It's called the Astrologers Handbook. It was written back in the 70s. Okay, this book, when someone said to order it, I ordered it because it's so old. You can get it on Amazon for like $4 or $5. It's not that expensive, and I do believe it was written back in the 70s. 1973 is the copyright. I was 3, so it's old. I'm 51 now. It's an excellent book. Okay, let me just show you what it has in here. Now, what I like about this book is there are astrology books, and then there are books that talk about the psychology of astrology. And that's really what the Nostradamus method is. They call it astropsychology. And this talks about the psychology. For example, Saturn in the 12th house. So it talks about the psychology of a person with that placement. And I'll just read a minute of it to you so you get an idea. Saturn in the 12th house indicates that much time will be spent in seclusion or working behind the scene in large institutions, hospitals, universities, corporations, and government agencies. Saturn afflicted in the 12th, and when it talks about it being afflicted, that can mean it's in critical degrees. Anytime you have that, I know as an astrologer, anytime you have Saturn in the 12th, it is usually depression. And in some cases, if it's afflicted, it's manic depression. That's one of the characteristics of astropsychology, is when you have Saturn sitting in the 12th afflicted, that represents a person who suffers from manic depression. But it goes on, people with this position need to get away from their own psychological problems by serving others and by immersing themselves, into practical construction. So it, what are critical degrees? So simply put, critical degrees, when you are born, there's, on my software, there is the chart I give you guys, and then there is a part that's made just for the astrologer, and it tells me if you're born with critical degrees. Some people are and some people aren't. You'll know because I will tell you in your reading. I will say, hey, this placement, there are critical degrees. So sweet butterfly girl, you, if I didn't bring it up in your reading, you don't have any per se, okay? Either that, or I look closely enough to where there's some that are in such a sliver of a degree in critical that it doesn't really affect you too much. But critical degrees are just the placements of your birth time with certain planets where the energy of that placement takes on takes a little more intensity. That's all it is. There's no special lingo for it. There's no special thing for it. It's just critical degrees. If a lot of people are born with critical degrees, and some handle them very well and some don't. And it does literally depend on the degree of the placement, really. Suited rags, me and Linda can make a good team, and we have worked together before the boy thing went crazy. Let's just say we are. This is true. Okay, yeah, that's how I usually read Saturn in the 12th, as depression, dark thoughts, possible nightmares. Absolutely, especially if it's in critical degrees. Another placement for manic depression can sometimes be Saturn sitting in the 3rd, because Saturn sitting in the 3rd is your mental clarity. Remember, the 12th is the deep subconscious mind, and the 3rd is the mental clarity. There you go. Okay, then it's a good thing. But yes, so definitely this book is amazing for anybody who, not even if you're just a novice, you will learn a lot from it. It's written very simplistically. It's understandable. And I started using this book as a student of Dr. Torrey's almost 18 years ago. And even though his perspective of astrology was an absolute game changer for me, this book really, really helped. So definitely, this is definitely a book you're going to want to get. The other astrology book, it's not really an astrology book, but if you are planning on working with astrology, you're going to want 22 around here somewhere. That's another one. That's great. I don't have the other one sitting here. And I'm getting ready. I said this in my last video, and I didn't do it because I've been so busy. This time of year, everybody wants their lucky and unlucky days, or they want their, their progressive reading. So from now until probably about January 15th, I will be slammed. I didn't put it up on my website yet because, like I said, I haven't had time, but I promise you before solstice, I have 3 of these available. These are the Llewellyn's 2022 Moon Sign book. I only have 3 left, and I'm actually offering them with your lucky and unlucky Dragon Days for 2022. I think it's like 65 bucks. My readings alone are usually 75. So you're getting $10 off. You're getting it's tax included, shipping included, and you get this book along with it. That's going up in a day or two. Like I said, I was supposed to do it a few days ago, but I have been running around literally like I hate this expression, but literally like a chicken with my head cut off. It's just been crazy. That's okay. It's not a complaint. Better busy than not busy, right? All right. Well, that is your forecast, your full moon forecast. I am going to get out of here because I do have a class tonight. Um, Actually, it's someone here on YouTube. um, I already know how to do this spell, but I kind of want to see how this person does it. And pardon my French, but it's called the shut the fuck up spell. And it is using a cow's tongue. Yes. So I am going to be taking that class tonight just to see how different it is. Yeah, I've been running around like a crazy person. And it's not just with the readings. I'm blessed and this happens every year, but it's the holidays and I'm trying to shop like when there's no crowd. So I have to do this on the weekday. You won't see me at the stores on the weekends when there's a ton of people. Especially here in Arizona, nobody wants to wear a mask. So, if you don't want to get vaccinated, that's fine. It's your choice. I respect it, but at least wear a damn mask, okay? Don't be a complete idiot. You should. What's her name? Witchfoot. I'm thinking about signing up for her class. It starts soon, a couple hours. So really, maybe I should do one of those. I know how to do them, and you don't even need a cow's tongue to do it. You can use clay. You can use Play-Doh. Okay, they do work. I'll tell you that they do work. Um, I've only done it once in my lifetime, and it did work. I'll send you the link. Let me see if I could find it now. While I'm still on here, I think her name is Witchfoot. Wait a minute. Let me find the link because I do follow her on here. Bear with me. There she is. And she is live right now. It might be happening now. That was 7 hours ago. Here is the link. Oh, that's TikTok. She's from TikTok. Oh, here it is. If you just give me a second, share this. Probably one of the only few people I have found on TikTok any worthiness, in my opinion. Witchfoot. There it is. I shared it. I sent the link. Oh, then if you have a TikTok account, Christopher, before I went on that radio show the other night, you should listen to my rant. Astro_Strega. You'll get what I mean now. So, yeah. I found her on TikTok and she's really good. And she talks about a lot of things. And she's not for everybody, but she is a witch through and through. She's a Scorpio. She's a badass. And wouldn't want to cross her on any given day. But she's very gifted. And I'm going to try and take her class. I didn't sign up yet because I'm hoping there's a spot left for me. And I'm hoping I don't need to go buy all the supplies because I've done it before. Or yeah, please do. I go on a lot of different rants, about like I posted something about some autistic kid being thrown in a room um, because he was a little native boy. I think that was why. But I do a lot of child advocate stuff on there as well. So please ignore my rants. These are what I'm passionate about: astrology, helping animals, and helping kids. Anyway, it has been awesome. I'm going to try and get back on here on Monday. I'm not going to be on here tomorrow because I do need a much needed break. On Monday, I'm going to show you a witch box I got from a lady in Australia. I tried to get her on, but the time is just strange. I think Australia is like 17 hours ahead. So either way, I'm going to show and tell that. And we'll pull some cards on Monday because I've got a bunch of things I got to do tonight for the full moon. All of you joining in. Thank you, Christopher. Thank you, Sweet Butterfly Girl, Regina, Suited Rags. Did I miss anybody? There's one more. Melly, I think. Melly. She's in there. Thank you for tuning in, you guys, and be safe out there. Have a blessed full moon. Watch the road. Watch your words. Be aware of your surroundings. One more thing I will add before I go is December started in a Plutonic phase. My Patreons have the exact dates that my computer generates. Um, we're going to be ending the year in the same energy and celebrate at home. That's my best advice. All right, you guys, have a good one. And I will be back here on Monday. I promise I will be back before Christmas, even solstice. I'll be back. I will send you. Perfect. Yes, do that. Definitely. All right, you guys. Blessings. Have a good evening. Ciao.